Okay, so we're back with Jason from Headline Audio.
Hello.
And we're going to look at the Nord stuff. What have you got?
So one of the things that we're showing off at the show today is the new Nord Grand 2. This was only released this year. And we are marketing this as a live instrument, a studio instrument, and as a home piano as well. We've got it set up here in its home piano configuration. So we've got the optional wooden stand with the wooden music rest, and the key part of this is these Nord monitors. We've always sort of felt that with home pianos, the vast majority that you get, the speakers are mounted underneath, pointing down at the floor. You're never going to get the best sound with that configuration. Nord have had these monitors developed. They've worked really closely with Audio Pro. These are not studio monitors. These are monitors which are specifically voiced for the Nord range of sounds. So we've got those set up with the Grand 2 today. Difficult to sort of appreciate on the video, but when you're sat, you can see how these are sort of angled on the brackets. I am sat right in the perfect sweet spot of the stereo picture of whatever sound I've got, particularly if I'm using, say, a Rhodes piano with some pan effects, things like that. Also, it almost becomes three-dimensional as I'm playing, so very, very important part of the setup, those. So, just take you through a few features on the Grand 2. What's new from the Grand 1 is the storage has been doubled now, so in the different sections we have 2 gigabytes of storage on the piano memory and 1 gigabyte of storage for all of the other sounds, which includes all the orchestral sounds, analog synthesis, stuff like that, all in the sample playback section there, so 1 gig of storage there. In total now, we can run 4 layers as opposed to 2 on the Grand 2, so you see we've got all 4 layers active there. We can set whatever sample, whatever voice we want per layer, and then just scrolling along to the end, the entire right-hand section of the control panel there is 4 independent effects processors, 1 for each layer that we're using. So it's an incredibly powerful instrument in terms of sort of layers, using those effects, setting the keyboard up with splits and everything else. There's not a lot that you can't do with this instrument. So take you through some of the sounds. It's got all of Nord's more sort of famous samples in there. Of course, the nice thing about the Nord keyboard is, unlike most of the manufacturers with the Nord, we can completely empty all of the sounds out of there if we want to, and go onto Nord's website where there are hundreds and hundreds of sounds, all completely free for Nord users, and we can load those back into the keyboard and really make it our own instrument. So things that we've got in there straight off the bat, we've got their lovely white Grand, we've got the felt, very soft felt upright piano. And then my favourite, and maybe Nord's favourite as well, the electric piano selection in there is absolutely fantastic. So all sampled in-house by Nord. If you're lucky enough to ever go to the Nord offices, they have an absolutely astounding collection of electric pianos, the majority of which are Rhodes. One of my favourite features on this, it's quite niche, but it is such a cool feature, is you can see on that switch there, we have Dino 1 and Dino 2. Mm-hmm. So in the 70s there was a guy called Chuck Monty. I mean, I'd buy anything from a guy with a name like that anyway, but he started a company called Dino My Piano because he felt that the electric pianos didn't sound quite good enough for use by professional musicians, either live or in the studio. So he would take your electric piano, completely hot rod it, change the volume and tone plate across to one with a custom circuit on the back, and the difference that you get in the sound. So there we have a lovely bright vibe Mark I Rhodes piano, which sounds fantastic. But if we put the Dino on, we now have like a bell-like quality to all of the notes in there. And then when we dig in as well, we get a real sort of great compressed drive, and that is probably the Rhodes sound that is the most famous that everybody will have heard, because every Rhodes that was recorded after that point pretty much had the Dino My Piano. I've seen different keyboards that have had that on as a pre-sampled sound. What Nord have done is put 2 different versions of the Dino My Piano sound in there, and you can add those to any of the electric piano sounds that are built into the Grand 2. Another sort of key feature on the Grand 2, and this is another collaboration from Nord. There's already the Kawai hammer action in there. We can see the Kawai logo on there. So in this one we've got the new Kawai triple sensor action, which is absolutely fantastic. Works with this piano incredibly well. It's just such a great experience to play with that action built in, and that was Nord's first ever collaboration. Also done some work with Spitfire sounds. So if we flick along to the sample section now, we can see one of the first samples that shows up there. We've got some Spitfire string quintet, slow, fast, there's some quartet sounds in there as well. So some of the best string sounds that have ever been sampled are now built into this as it comes out of the factory, and there's even more that you can pop along to Nord's website and download and install into the keyboard.
Lovely.
So there we go. In a nutshell, that is the Grand 2.
Excellent. And yeah, I mean, it looks incredible. Looks like a really solid unit, incredibly well made. Is it available now? And
it is.
How
it's
much
available
is it?
from all Nord stockists in the UK, and we've some piano retailers as well. So yeah,
Great. And how much is it? What's the RRP?
3599 Inc. VAT.
Great.
And then the stand is extra, 849 for the stand, 549 for the monitors.
Amazing.
And that gives you this complete setup that we've got here.
Well,
which
it's
is the ultimate
absolutely
home piano.
beautiful. Sounds amazing as well. Thank you very much for
you're
doing
welcome.
that,
Thank you.
Jason. Cheers.
All right, cheers. See you soon.